around 4 o'clock, we'll have weather throughout our region, we'll have rain. And the areas especially that have already been impacted, where the water is already saturated the earth and the ground, those areas are at higher risk of flooding. I should mention I'm starting my remarks in English, and I'll go through all of my remarks and then repeat them in Spanish for the Spanish language media. So what we need folks to look out for, be very aware of the weather. This is not the day, this Thursday is not the day to go and have fun and stay out. We need everyone in the community to watch the weather, to pay attention to their elected officials, to pay attention to the news, and if you can, head back home, because there is a very high potential for street flooding. We're almost surely going to see street flooding, and that's what's most dangerous for people, is to be outside. It's not the time to be out and about. If you have to be out and about this evening, please be careful. Don't drive into high water. We know that it looks like there's no deep water, and you drive in and you find out the hard way that it was deeper than it was. Best case scenario, the car is ruined. Worst case scenario, it can be incredibly dangerous. Don't drive around barricades. If there are barricades blocking traffic, do not drive around those. Those are there for your safety. Putting out information as to where you should not be driving because there's deep water, because there's potential for deep water. Now, we know also with this rain, we need our storm drains to be clear. So look in your neighborhood. That's something you can do, is check the storm drain in your neighborhood. Make sure that it's clear, because we need that water to be able to make it from the storm drain to our channels, to our bayous, and out away from our neighborhoods. Your cars, don't park them on the street. Remember, again, those roads are supposed to flood when we have particularly heavy rain to take the water to our channels and our bayous. So if you can park the car on the driveway, park the car in a garage. But the most important message is make sure that you stay off the streets, that you go home. Your home is the safest place to be. Right now, it looks like the weather's clear. We've had a sunny day, but what that's done is added energy to the potential for heavy rain. So we do have rain coming, and the streets and outside your home is a dangerous place for us. You will help us. You will help our first responders. You will help yourself and your family by going straight home tonight and staying home until we figure out how long this rain is going to stay in our region. Worst case scenario, it will continue on throughout the night, and we have our meteorologist here ready to answer questions. Also, things people need to be aware of, bookmark readyharris.org. In the event of especially high rain, we will have information there, emergency information, alert information. Right now, if you go to readyharris.org, you can see updates on the gauges, all the gauges we have throughout Harris County. So you see how the creek, the bayou, and the channel near your home is doing, and you can see whether that is rising. We also have information on the water level on the streets. I will say the anxiety in the community, especially after Harvey, is just as real as the rain that is falling, that will be falling. And I recognize that. I recognize that as we have rain coming later today, we have had rain for the past few days, and there are areas of our community, particularly around the Kingwood area, that have already been impacted. So we recognize that, and we're working, we're working with our partners, with the City of Houston, with the different law enforcement, so that we've got all our assets ready to deploy. Working with the state of Texas, they've redeployed assets to our region where we have high water and a flooding event, so that we're ready to go, ready to respond. We have to remember that Houston, especially for newcomers to the Houston area, Harris County, has suffered from flooding since it was Harrisburg. We're in a very low-lying area. Part of the solution to that is using our roads as a way to convey the water to the channels, to the bayous, away from the neighborhoods. And so that's why the street flooding is normal, it's expected, and we need folks to stay off the streets. Of the over 200 flood bond projects that our community came together to pass, over 100 are right now underway. 40 projects that we're currently digging. For example, a project around Greens Bayou, around the Greens Point area, that's adding detention. Almost 1,500 Olympic pools worth of of detention. Our flood control district and our county has upped development standards because even with the low-lying area that we are, development has not always respected the risk that we're facing. So last year, the development standards were raised so that people have to build higher, and now we're working on additional detention standards that will be passing very soon so that developers have to hold more water as they build. Those projects are underway. On the emergency response side, we are working on push notifications. We are working on lights to prevent people from driving into underpasses. We're taking this very seriously going forward. It is really an effort that continues to take all of us to work to decrease the flood risk in our region. For now, we need each resident of Harris County to do their part, stay off the roads, go straight home tonight, watch the weather, watch the news, watch readyharris.org, the different gauges as flood level rise in the bayous and the channels in the event that that were to overcome their banks. So folks, please stay tuned, do your part to make sure that we're safe. That'll make it so much easier on our first responders. Ahora repetiré en español lo que he discutido hasta ahora. Estamos viendo un pronóstico del tiempo todavía incierto, como era ayer. Lo que sí sabemos es que a eso de las 4 de la tarde vendrá lluvia a nuestra región. Puede ser que la lluvia se vaya, pero existe una probabilidad muy alta de que la lluvia continúe a través de toda la noche. Esto sería un problema especialmente para las áreas de la comunidad que ya han visto lluvia, donde la tierra ya está saturada. Entonces, por eso necesitamos que las personas estén muy alertas, muy pendientes del clima, del tiempo, los medios de comunicación. Lo más importante, se le pide a la comunidad que por favor intenten ir a su casa. Empezando a las 4 va a ser muy peligroso estar fuera de casa conduciendo en las calles. Entonces, al terminar el trabajo, por favor, hoy no es el jueves para estar fuera divirtiéndonos, hoy es el día de ir a la casa, divertirnos propiamente en casa, porque está diseñada la comunidad, está diseñado nuestro sistema para que el agua pase por las calles y así llegue a los canales. Entonces, es muy probable, lo más probable es que las calles se inunden. Ese es parte del diseño y es muy peligroso que las personas estén fuera conduciendo en esas condiciones. Si va conduciendo, si tiene que estar por fuera, por favor, no vaya, no entre el agua profunda. Es difícil ver si el agua es profunda o no lo es. Entonces simplemente no conduzca si ve agua en la calle. También, si ve bloqueos en las carreteras, no se los pase, no vaya alrededor de cualquiera de esas barreras. Esas barreras están ahí por su protección. En este momento también se le pide a la comunidad que sigan revisando los drenajes en su vecindario, que estén limpios los drenajes. Si el drenaje está limpio, el agua más fácilmente sale de las calles hacia los canales y hacia todo nuestro sistema de control de inundaciones. Monitoreen la página web readyharris.org, se puede ver también en español. Ahí está información acerca del clima, está información acerca de los niveles del agua en los canales, donde puede ver si el agua está subiendo hasta tal punto que pueda sobrepasar el límite del canal. Nosotros aquí estamos activados, estábamos trabajando con el alcalde de la ciudad de Houston, con todos nuestros socios, preparados para responder a cualquier posibilidad de inundaciones. Estamos trabajando con el estado de Texas también para tener, todos han traído botes, han traído carros de rescate, han traído equipo de todo el estado a nuestra región por si hubiera necesidad de utilizar esos materiales. Lo que tenemos que reconocer, especialmente para las personas nuevas a la región, esta región, la ciudad de Houston, toda el área alrededor del condado Harris, está muy cerca al nivel del mar. Desde que se fundó esta área hemos sido susceptibles a las inundaciones. Yo entiendo que hay ansiedad, la ansiedad es real, es tan real como la lluvia que va a caer esta noche. Y es por eso que estamos trabajando para mejorar la situación de inundación en nuestro condado. Y ha sido un problema por muchas décadas. Ahora, gracias a los fondos que se están invirtiendo, estamos trabajando día y noche para proteger a la región. Por ejemplo, el Distrito de Control de Inundaciones tiene requerimientos ahora para nuevos desarrollos que construyan más alto, que se requiera cierta detención para que retengan el agua si es que van a construir más viviendas, más desarrollos. También También tenemos más de 100 proyectos de control de inundaciones en este momento que se están manejando. 40 están propiamente con palas, pues trabajando. Por ejemplo, en el área de Greens Point hay detención de más de 1,500 piscinas olímpicas reteniendo agua en esa área, lo cual va a reducir el riesgo de inundación para esa comunidad. Entonces, les recuerdo a todos, por ahora, lo que necesitamos de ustedes es que vayan a casa esta noche, disfruten de su casa, no conduzcan, si pueden evitarlo, si deben conducir, cuidado con el agua, no vayan a pasar ninguna barrera, estén muy pendientes del clima, vean, continúen viendo la televisión, las páginas web de readyharris.org y los medios sociales. Ahora hablará el alcalde y después nuestro meteorólogo. We'll pass it on to Mayor Turner, and then our meteorologist, Jeff Linder, will answer questions.
Thank you, Judge Hidalgo, and let me say that we are here today because of every weather system is uncertain and highly unpredictable, and we want people to be weather aware and weather alert. And the importance of this is signified by the fact that we're here at TransStar with the County Judge Hidalgo, along with her team, and then Chief Bunick, Chief of Public Safety and Homeland Security is here, Chief Pena, Chief of the Fire Department, Chief Aceveda, are all here because of the importance of the message that we simply want to deliver. On Tuesday, no one expected as much rain to fall, and I think Councilmember Dave Martin is still right to my left. Councilmember Martin, who represents the Kingwood Clear Lake area. On Tuesday, no one expected as much rain as that fell, but in certain areas, like in Kingwood, we had more than 10 inches of rain to fall in a short period of time, and then it proceeded to the southwest area on to the southeast, and a lot of people were stuck in their cars, a lot of street flooding, and a couple of bayous, the water came out of their banks, Keegan and the Willow Water Hole. And then Wednesday, when we thought it was going to rain again, it didn't hardly rain on Wednesday. And then because we've been talking about this rainfall for several days, and now we're on Thursday, and the sun has been out, and so a lot of people may assume, well, maybe this was a false alert. And so they've kind of let their guards down. The reason why we're standing together is that this weather event that is moving into our area is a very serious one, and everyone needs to take it very seriously. Let me say to you that we are taking it very serious. We do anticipate that the rain will start, and that it will start at some point, and it could be early evening, and we do anticipate that when it starts, it will continue to come down. And so it's important for, as we take precautions, and we are taking precautions, our assets are already being deployed, have been deployed throughout the city. We have more assets on the city level now than we had during Hurricane Harvey. So those assets have been deployed throughout the city. The 60 barricades have been put in place and are ready to take place as the need arises. Public Works is on standby, and they have pre-positioned some of their equipment throughout the city of Houston. And it's because of the seriousness that we are taking this event. What we would ask people is to be very weather aware and very weather alert. And even though it may not be raining where you are right now, and even though the sun may be out, we do want people to know that it could be early evening, could be as early as 5 o'clock, but early evening, it will start raining. And so we want to caution people. For people who have a tendency when work is out, you finish at 5, people may want to take the time Thursday, happy hour. This will be a good time to have happy hour at your home, okay? And we want to encourage you to go home. For people who may be going to various events tonight, and let's say even to the Astro games, and as much as we all love the Astros, I just want you to bear in mind when you go, and if you live let's say more than 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away, just bear in mind that when you're leaving, you may be in a lot of rain and there may be street flooding. So just be weather aware and weather alert. But this may be one of those days, one of those evenings where people should go home and be with your families and enjoy this evening at home, because we are anticipating a lot of rain falling within the Houston area, and we're anticipating that rain to be falling throughout the evening. So that's the importance that we want to emphasize. And if there are barricades that are put up, if those barricades are blocking these low passage areas, do not drive around those barricades. Do not drive around those barricades. If streets are flooded, do not drive through flooded streets. Do not do that. We are anticipating a lot of street flooding. We are anticipating that our bayous may get a lot of water in them. Okay, we're anticipating that, and we are preparing accordingly. And we want people to be aware that this is a storm that we need to take very seriously. And it's not like it's going to be a one evening and done. We are anticipating a flash flood alert will remain in place until Saturday at 7 p.m. Saturday at 7. So this is not going to be this evening and we're done. We anticipate that rain will continue to fall between whatever time it starts until sometime on Saturday, if not beyond. So this is one of those systems that we all need to take very seriously. We are, and we have taken steps to be prepared to do everything that we can do to put us in the best position to mitigate the risk of flooding, to minimize any impact on human life as well as on our pets. So bear in mind, let's take care of our pets, be sensitive to them, and seniors, people who may be living by themselves. Okay, so that's the message for us. We have pre-staged, we are prepared, we're ready as much as we can be, but we are anticipating a lot of water, a lot of rain to fall in our area. And do not be fooled just because it's not raining right now, that you may have a lot of time, that it may be a drizzle and then a heavy downfall. This may be one of those situations that when the rain starts, it may be a heavy rain and may continue to be a heavy rain. That's the message that we want to emphasize. Take it seriously. After work, go home. Get off the road, okay? Help yourselves out and help the first responders, So go home. That's the best place to be this evening, and then we'll all get through this. Thank you.
Folks, any questions related to the weather? Jeff Linder will do one-on-ones after this. He's not feeling well, had to go upstairs for a minute. Any non-weather related, non-meteorologist related questions? Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
You mentioned the Astros game tonight. If the rain does start while the game's happening, does the city have a plan in place if the situation gets bad downtown? Let's say there's severe flooding in some of the downtown areas.
Well, we certainly have pre-staged equipment. The barricades are in place. We're going to take the steps to make sure that no one drives underneath a bridge, for example, that where the area may be, underpasses may be flooded. We're going to take those steps. But the best advice that we can give is that if you're not living fairly close to the stadium, and it may take you may be 30 minutes away, this may be one of those evenings where you might want to reconsider, because it may be fine getting to the game. My concern would be getting home and the number of people that would be on the road getting home. And I don't want anyone to say, if we had known. So that's why we've come together right now to tell people right now. If you've got events like that, like the Astro Games or other events that's going to keep you out, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, maybe the best course of action would be to forego it unless you just have to be out on the roadway. Now, if you just have to be out on the roadway, then be very, very careful. But this is one of those evenings based on the information that we are getting. Okay, based on the information that we are getting, we are being advised that when the skies do open, they will open. Okay, and so it's not going to be where it's a drizzle and then it kind of builds up. And because of what happened on Tuesday and the amount of rain that fell in such a short period of time, a lot of street flooding can easily occur and can occur very quickly. And so the best way to stay safe is not to be on the road. And so, quite frankly, I'll tell you what I'll tell my daughter, okay? Because when I finish here, I'm telling my daughter, go home. And quite frankly, you know, if you're in a position where you can leave before 5 o'clock, hey, go home, okay? And stay there. And Dad will be checking on you, okay? And Houston Traffic Management will be around Minute Maid as well this evening to assist. But in this case, I'm providing the same advice to the people in this city that I would give to my own daughter, to my own sisters and brothers. And that is, unless you just have to be out on the roadway, go home this evening.
So if you are going downtown, let's say, tonight for some reason, it would be a bad idea to park in an underground garage or anything like that, I mean, at this point. Is that something that you're discouraging people?
I would certainly discourage it because we know what's coming. You know, now every storm is unpredictable. And someone may say, well, Mayor, after the fact we didn't get nearly as much rain. Well, what we do know is that we know what happened on Tuesday, and we know we've got 3 and 4 inches of rain in like 1 hour, okay? 10 inches of rain in 6 hours. And when you get that much rain, you are going to have street flooding, okay? You're going to have street flooding. So if we know all of this ahead of time, these are lessons learned. We've been through this too many times. These are all lessons learned. But it is important for people to know when they're looking out their window and they don't see any rain falling, that doesn't mean that all is well, okay? And so we want to tell you ahead of time so you can prepare accordingly.
Mayor, we know in the past that TrainStar has stayed open overnight and you've provided periodic updates, certainly during our period. Can you do the same thing for this event?
You want to speak first?
Yes,
Judge?
we will be here. We're activated. We'll be activated throughout the night, monitoring the situation, because as I mentioned, one thing we do know is this looks to be continuing throughout the night, starting around 4 o'clock, continuing throughout the night. So we'll be here, I'll be here, we'll be watching, ready to go to support our community as necessary and to present information as soon as we have it. And we need your help as well, keeping the community informed as to the weather forecast. We do ask folks to keep an eye on the flood gauges, to keep an eye on the TrainStar map. And again, all that information is at readyharris.org. But we will be here. Everyone's ready to go. On our first responder side, we are doing everything we can to be ready to respond. We ask the community to do their part, which is go home, stay home.
The office of,
from a law enforcement perspective, from an HPD perspective, is this an all-hands-on-deck situation?
Yes, it is. We've been monitoring the weather reports, working with the mayor's team and Homeland Security, and so we've activated our DOC. We have actually our boats, about 15 boats are deployed around the city, but not just the equipment. We have the people in place to make sure our people don't get stranded and can't respond. We have 9 high water rescue vehicles deployed around the city with additional on reserve. And so we've got the people, the aircraft, the boats, and the high water rescue vehicles. So we're ready, but we'd rather not respond. And so as the mayor is saying and the county judge, if you can stay home, monitor the conditions around your home, we'll all be better off. And we're also communicating with the Astros as well, so communicating what the conditions are so they can make a decision towards the end of the game and inform the people that are there, the fans there that night, or tonight.
You guys have been in touch with the airports, but do you know how air travel might be affected over the next few days?
I can say one thing about that, Mayor. Yes, Tuesday, when we had the flooding, the unpredicted flooding in the Kingwood area did impact some of the roadways around IAH, so you should be monitoring And if you're going to fly out tonight or the next few days, monitor the IAH website and your airline website, because those roadways can be impacted around IAH. They can impact the departures.
And let me just say that the Office of Emergency Management Chief Unit has been at level 3 since 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock today.
Yes, sir.
And will remain at level 3 throughout the duration of this event. And so we will be fully staffed over there. I also want to say, with respect to like Lake Houston, the gates are open, and they will continue to remain open to release water from Lake Houston. We've already taken those steps.
Yeah, and we're working very closely together, TransStar and our Office of Emergency Management here with the city's Office of Emergency Management. But of course, the water doesn't respect our jurisdictional boundaries. And I know this will go beyond not even just Harris County. This message is to all the surrounding counties. We're all coordinating. We're working together. We know that this is an event that is not going to stay within our boundaries, and that's why it takes all of us. That's why we're in touch with the state. They've deployed their assets strategically to our region, and we're asking the community to watch the weather and to try and stay home tonight. Thank you folks so much, and Jeff will be down to do one-on-ones. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
I appreciate
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.